expand. We're going to do the best of, I think. Just to cover all the idiots in the world, Bullet.
I know, right?
And it's all not, well, most of them ain't wrestlers. That's what's so crazy about it.
I know, right?
Oh, Bullet, I think I've got you December. We'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. I think that'll work out.
And our buddy, and I'll mention it tonight, our buddy wants you back in. I just told him the email you text. I mean, he's going to do that Drexel again.
Yeah, I think
So,
he asked about that date, but I might be booked that day.
Okay.
I think the last time he sent me a message, it was a different date.
Well, he did ask me, out of respect, he said, can I go ahead and just put Bullet's picture on the poster anyway? I said, yeah. I mean, but I do it. But anyway,
yeah.
So,
might
you're
not
the only
be
wrestler out there, okay?
Yeah.
They know other wrestlers than you. Bullet,
I'm very generic.
Oh, yeah, very.
Especially.
Oh, that's the greatest line in the world.
Especially if you're gonna put that one picture of me where I was just wearing trunks and I got a bald head.
Oh, you're very. Oh,
that's actually the wrestler that you start off with, in like WWE, like 216, 2K16 or whatever.
That's very.
And then you add all the stuff to it.
Oh, that's very WWF figures here, and then like the Kmart figure or the Family Dollar figure that's just really. Just a basic wrestler, but it can be anybody you want him to be.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I love that. That's very good. That's a good line, Bullet. It's very generic. Because I told him, said, just use a generic guy. And I think that's what.
I think that's me.
That's what he did. The generic episode. Okay.
All right, here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Dad, You Don't Work, You Wrestle. You hear the claps. You know it. Well, now you hear the clap. You know what time it is. George, how was your weekend?
Well, Bullet, I was off a little bit there. I went to like fix my bandana. I forgot I left it in the Batmobile. Dad burnt. I feel the first time in almost 200 episodes, no bandana. Bullet.
Well, it's the
I got one here, but anyway, the bucket season. Very good.
Toque season.
Bullet, what a great time I just got back from. Had a great time this past weekend. Anytime that we've always said here at Dad, You Don't Work Your Ass Television, anybody's got a right to lose money in a wrestling. I mean, to run a wrestling show.
Everybody's got money.
We don't have the corner market on losing money in wrestling.
Yeah.
So Saturday night, I went down to Seneca, South Carolina. First time ever. This was actually a gentleman named Mike, his second show, but it's the first time I went and worked for him, and just. What a first-class event. I almost hate to say it because I'm not used to it, Bullet. His wife baked the guys. Now, what's so neat is to see how they all start out, and gradually, if he sticks with it, it'll all end. But right now, we're enjoying it. His wife...
Somebody will ruin it.
Oh, his wife baked huge baked spaghetti, Bullet, is what I'm talking about. And for the boys, not for the fans, just for the boys in the dressing room. Salad, bread, Bullet, 3 different salad dressings. You don't want this guy to smarten up because he's actually treating us like we're somebody. So anyway, just a great time. Bullet, the middle school right there, right outside of Seneca. Just a great show. I got to beat up Ricky Morton again on a full belly of spaghetti, which was always enjoyable, whether you're starving or not. And just a great time. We had a good little old crowd, Bullet. Of course, I got to speak towards the end. Just met a lot of good people, a lot of good fans, a lot of new wrestlers down there. Here was the thing, Bullet. Now, this is not idiot baggish stuff. This is just a comment. He only did 5 matches, which I loved, okay? But let me tell you, promoter, you promoters, if you are relying on me and Ricky Morton to do time, you're nuts, okay? So here's the point I'm just trying to make, Bullet. The first 3 matches went less than 6 minutes. I mean, and these are young guys. These are young, like that. Most of the time, you got to tell them to get out of the ring, Bullet. But
oh yeah, trust me. Oh. I was through that era in North Carolina when I had every old timer in the back telling us not to go too long, don't do a million false finishes. But guess what? All the people that did that now have jobs or on TV.
That's exactly right.
I wish people
you wish you had to listen to all these veterans.
Yeah, Bullet. Exactly.
I
wish somebody said go nuts. The only person that told me to go nuts was Bobby.
Oh,
he was the only guy for probably about a stretch of 6 years that said do whatever you want.
I love that. And it was amazing to me. And I even went in the back, and the first 2 guys, they did good, but they only did good for like 4 minutes and ended it. And I thought, guys, listen, especially with just 5 matches, it's okay. I wouldn't even put under 15. Seriously, I'm not even gonna put my boot on. But I'm seriously, honestly, if it's and and I know you got to look at time and all this kind of stuff, but when it's just 5 matches. And you got a good little crowd out there. I'm not saying go all night or whatever, but man, you can
do what's right.
Oh, exactly. And I don't care if you do the same thing over and over for 10 minutes. At least put some It was less than 5 minutes first match, and I'm thinking, what in the heck? It took them longer to get to the ring than it did to leave. I mean, to have the match. So anyway, but me and Ricky Morton, we put time in, believe it or not, Bullet, and we saved the show. Nobody else may not feel that way, but I do. So just a great time. I love going to new places because they have not been introduced yet to the second greatest book ever written, Bullet. So the book did real good. The book wants to go back.
Well, there's still corners of this United States that haven't.
There are a few. There are a few coffee tables that have yet to lay beneath this second greatest book ever written. But we're trying to take care of all that. So just thank Mike, thank his sweet wife for just fixing all that up, Bullet. But as time goes on, I'm sure they'll just like be, cold stale bread back there. But still, he really made an effort.
So they're probably spitting the spaghetti.
Oh, yes.
It's funny.
Oh, exactly.
But it'll happen from his wife's. Wife will be heartbroken.
Exactly.
Nobody will ever get free spaghetti again.
That's exactly right.
And the guy that doesn't like paying $20 at Applebee's and getting a free meal.
Amen. That's exactly right. So, and I looked around. It's so funny because almost like the new guys in the dressing room was afraid to eat. Of course, the first two people in it was me and Ricky Martin. You can tell who's kind of been around a while and who, like you said, it's probably, we'll just eat at the steakhouse going home, spend $40. But anyway, great time, Bullet. The book did good. I was just so happy. Just glad that everything went good, and they're hoping to do it again. So we're always excited about that, Bullet. So with all that being said, push that to the side. Of course, everybody knows just a few weeks away from WrestleCade, Bullet. I call it the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl, because it's a-coming, and it's just going to be huge. There's a lot going on that week.
And I was discussing somebody about this a couple of weeks ago. It's very reminiscent of kind of what happens in the Northeast. Thanksgiving weekend is now with WrestleCade and everything. It's now turned into something that happens in the Northeast a lot. A lot of times there'll be a big convention, and then there'll be other wrestling shows, and then other events that happen on top of that. And that's kind of what's happening with WrestleCade. WrestleCade will be having, their shows and the autographs. But on top of that, as soon as the autograph stuff is done on Saturday, Big Time Wrestling will be having wrestling in Morganton just down the road, about an hour and a half away. And then also Friday night, they've got an event in Beckley. So they'll be working their way closer to WrestleCade. So you'll be have other people running other promotions, other shows, which is something that happens a lot in the Northeast.
Exactly right.
There's probably a lot of people that say, why are you all picking? Like down here, everybody's like, oh, this guy's trying to figure out this. But no, that happens a lot in the Northeast.
That's exactly right.
Anytime
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Whenever big event happens or Legends of the Ring happen, there's 3 or 4 different wrestling shows where the guys that are appearing in Legends of the Ring are at that night.
That's right.
And it's just good. There's just more money for wrestling.
And I'm so glad you said that, because I want to comment on that, because we've had a lot of emails and people already questioning it because they've seen a poster for like Big Time Wrestling in Morganton and seen some of the same guys going to be there. And I don't think the fans realize what we do, Bullet, because the questions are coming in. How in the heck is Arn Anderson going to be at both places? And they don't really understand it. It does. And it's just old hat to us, because if we can do it, we're going to do it. There's nothing wrong with that.
And it's going to be easier here in the South, because it's probably far easier to get to Winston-Salem and to Morganton than it is to get from Monroe, New Jersey to Queens. It's probably the distance may be shorter, but I guarantee it's a much easier drive.
That's exactly right. So, and it's almost like I relate it to almost like the weather. How up there they look at us and laugh. We get a little bit of snow. We freak down here and don't know how they do it when they've been doing it up there forever. And the convention thing.
Well, they can have it. They can have it. But when it happens down here, you guys can take it. It's yours, okay?
But I want to explain, fans, they will be in both places. If they're promoting, matter of fact, WrestleCade has even started putting up the poster, helping promote the poster from Morganton. Just letting people see that there's no competition. The guys can make both shows.
Yeah, and that's what's great, is because just more people. I think that's kind of what Tracy was trying to do, is getting more people involved and enjoy wrestling.
That's exactly right.
I kind of think there's. I mean, yeah, he had other things going on, what he wanted to do with it, but I think a small minor goal of the whole thing is like there's more people who enjoy wrestling.
I agree.
I kind of think that was a small part of when he started this.
Me too.
I don't think it was the big goal. I know. But it was definitely going to be a byproduct.
And we're on the same page, Bullet, because I look at people and I think, okay, is that a problem? I mean, you see what I'm saying? How can anybody, and I don't know if they're complaining, they just won't know how it's going to happen, but to me, there ain't nothing negative about that. To have all that going on here, that big weekend, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of appearances going on, and I have no problem with the wrestler coming into town trying to get what he can do, make as much money he can while he's here, because just get them while the people are here. But nothing wrong with that at all. So anyway, with all that being said, Bullet, before we jump into the idiot bag, got a lot to comment on that. A lot of exciting stuff going on with idiots this week, Bullet. The comedian, how are we doing with the big fall brawl one?
Yes, tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Out before tomorrow. Maybe you'll be listening to this in the morning tonight, or you might be like tonight. I might be at Tremont, or tomorrow. Depends on when I get this up. Or Tremont music. My show at Tremont's already happened. Maybe you're late to the game, but maybe you should listen to things sooner.
That's exactly.
Or maybe
right.
I should not be so lazy about getting this up. Either or. But
anyway, you got paying gigs, Bullet. Okay, well, you got to do first.
I got things. Let's not put a label on it, all right? But no, the Tremont Music Hall. It's a stand-up wrestling comedy show. Be going on. Like I said, I've been doing my open mics, but I also be performing improv. That's been confirmed. I'll be performing improv this Friday. This Saturday, I'll be working on an independent film for one of the people that are in my improv troupe.
Oh, wow.
As far as comedy stuff goes, I don't have anything so much on the books right now. I'm just trying to get out there and do a couple things here.
Still writing all the time. That's constant.
Yeah. I got a couple new things I'm gonna try tonight, but right now I'm trying to perform and hone everything for Wednesday. That's gonna be real good. My key with that is to get some good footage, so that way I can go out and get exterior bookings outside of Charlotte. I think that's where
you got to use that generic line. Now, that was good, Bullet. You say you're generic. You got to fit that in somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not good in wrestling, but it might be kind of good when it comes to comedy clubs. Like this is what I do. I'm just a generic comedian. You put me in.
I don't know.
I talk. People buy drinks and they buy the pretzels or whatever it is. So
I don't know who made the poster, but I can't remember nothing. But I remember the fall brawl one that's coming up tomorrow. I mean, that just that wrestling related. It got me hooked. That's all I'm saying, Bullet. So anyway, with all that being said, Bullet, the famous idiot of the week, and folks, that is I appreciate the people telling us how much they enjoy this. Again, I like to,
and we also appreciate the people saying they don't enjoy it.
Oh yes, and we
appreciate you too.
We appreciate the idiots that make this bag possible.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them, folks. Let me get you. There's so much that was going on this week, Bullet, that I just want to touch on. But my famous one that I really loved is, of course, last night, Panther Stadium. We've all heard about it. You know, Monday Night Football, biggest night of the week. Everybody's watching. 100 billion people. Rain, Panthers,
overtime, field goals.
Oh my goodness, field goals, the greatest comeback in history. I mean, just Panthers, the ultimate babyface. And then here comes 4 good Samaritans. 2 actually involved in the propel, but the 4 that helped out, the 2 other ones. And I'm just impressed. And you say, okay, what are these guys? If you're putting them over, why are they going to idiot back? My point is, boy, I'm impressed at what they did. Anytime, and I'm telling you, to pull this off, this is like MacGyver stuff, is what I'm talking about. MacGyver couldn't even have done this.
Just rappel down at an NFL stadium.
I mean, just like one minute you're eating a hot dog with extra onions, next minute you're propelling down the Panther Stadium. And folks, not just propelling down, getting in, as we discussed.
With all that gear.
With all that gear. And I honestly will go to bat for these 4 once they get out of jail and hope that they get a job with stadiums on security. But my problem with all of this is not what they did, Bullet, but you got to get rebooked, is what I'm saying. So I will put these 4. I know they got a lot of trouble now with law. And I mean, they're in jail. But my point behind all of this, Bullet, with my wrestler thinking is they will go into idiot bag because they didn't think further enough ahead, okay? If you're going to do something like this, which me and you may try it one time, Bullet, okay? But you got to sell sponsorships. That is the secret, okay, Bullet? You got to plan it, is what I'm saying. So going into this propel leap, you got to go around and sell sponsorships, okay? Maybe you don't have to go door to door, but I know there is some goofy Firestone or Budweiser or just some website that will, oh man, they'll pay big money for that. Well, maybe not believe it when you're going to do it.
Well, so that's the thing is they would have got that sponsorship money. They could afford a bigger banner, so more people could have saw your message.
That's very true.
It's very hard to see the website. Like I actually had to do a little digging. Luckily, I have a broadcast journalism degree to well, communications degree, but it my specifically in broadcasting, I had to do a little bit of digging and just to find the website. So you'd think if they had some sponsors, they wouldn't have had to make that decision at the banner shop. Should we get the 12-foot banner, or should we go for the 20? Well, we can only afford the 12.
That's very
If they had sponsors, they might have got the 20 or the 25, you know.
That's very George Southish. Looking at the cost, okay? Yeah. What I think's funny about it all is when you went to, with your video editing knowledge, you almost had to help them. You almost had to help them create a website for people to see what they were protesting, Bullet. But, folks, listen to me. I'm telling you, they missed it, is what I'm saying, Bullet. Now, I'm sure they'll get rebooked. I'm sure they'll be at WrestleMania coming up soon. There's an angle here somewhere.
I appreciate their commitment because they had to hook up somewhere, and they had to look like they belonged and do that. That takes a lot of commitment. Sneaking into buildings and just acting like you're supposed to be there, that takes a lot of commitment, folks.
When someone tries to sneak in one of our wrestling shows, we spot them. You see what I'm saying? We'll throw you out for trying to sneak in only a $5 seat.
These people had to set up carabiners and ropes and everything else and just commit to that. Hard.
Listen.
Real hard.
And no matter what, they just didn't shoot one of these like Batman-looking batarang things that Batman used to and just do it. I'm just impressed with it, even though I will throw them in the idiot bag because I just wish they would have got
they missed an opportunity.
Oh, they missed it. Yes. So if you're really going to take that leap, which I'm very impressed, I'm serious, Bull. With all due
they got on the juice. They had to stare down with Brock Lesnar in the ring.
Oh, boy.
And they were face to face. Paul Heyman cut that promo.
He sure did.
Your music hit. You slid in the ring. You stood face to face with Brock Lesnar, and you tripped on the way to the ring.
Amen.
And it was over.
It's over.
That's what happened.
It's over.
Your WrestleMania push is over. You're going to be jobbing out.
Yep. Back to the independents.
You're going to be teaming with Damian Sandow and Zack Ryder on the house shows in Madison Square Garden. I mean, job out the Wyatt family. You had your opportunity. You dropped the ball. Maybe next time, kid. Hopefully, New Japan hires you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Maybe that'll work out well.
You had your chance in history, Bullet. Yeah. You really did. Now you're going to be like the butt of all of our jokes. And that one claim to fame, they dropped the ball. I guess that's what we agree on here today. But we won't take away from the ability that it took just to walk, the nervousness of trying to get through that old lady at the ticket thing. You know, with all that.
You got to keep in mind.
How do you get through the little turn thing?
Well, you got to keep in mind, George. One of the people that work at the little turn thing is $5 Wrestling superstar Jeff Hart.
Yes. Okay. That kind of.
They may be doing a complete audit on the security system, and they may need to reference and buy a few $5 wrestling editions to realize the type of individuals they have working security. Because Jeff Hart not only works security for Bank of America, he is also a manager. There are people below him, people that he hires and fires.
That explains
everything. So, you know, we had a situation that could have been like a Jean-Claude Van Damme sudden death opportunity with Jeff Hart being Jean-Claude Van Damme. I know that's very hard to believe. Yeah, I can see the resemblance and how that could have been possible. But I think that if I was to guess where the security breach was, that's where I would put all my money. That's where the strong money is. At least $5.
That was the weak link.
That was the weak link.
We summed up that. Forget FBI coming in, Charlotte Police. We just helped them.
We just
saved a lot of taxpayer money. Thank y'all. You don't have to thank us. That we found that the missing link, the weak link in that was Jeff Hart being in security. And I'm sure they just purchased a $5 DVD with him on it and showed it to him.
And they snuck in the guy with the grappling hooks.
Oh, yeah.
The carabiners and the ropes.
He looked in the back seat, Jeff Hart did, saw all the climbing equipment.
And they had the banner around two people's shoulders coming in. He's sitting there signing.
They asked him outside the window to hold the banner and the climbing equipment while they looked for a marker to sign his $5 DVD. So then he just gave all the equipment back to them and cleared them to pass.
Sounds about right.
Anyway, so we settled it. They're in the idiot bag, all four of them. But we saved the FBI a lot of time and worry.
Yep. That's what the show's for.
Yeah, that's what we're for.
It's to do that. If you want to figure out the whole thing with Benghazi, go right ahead. And maybe give us a little more time. We'll figure out everything that happened with 9/11. I don't know. Yeah, those are stuck questions here left to answer.
And we would like you to know we like people. I'm sure people are thinking there's got to be more conspiracy to it. But folks, listen, we hate to brace your bubble, but it was Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
He just kind of he did it. He dropped the ball.
There
But anyway, folks, with all that being said, if you this week decide while you're waiting at the right moment to propel down to not Texas Stadium, Panther Stadium, or any stadium in your area, folks, if you got a few minutes before you do that, you're just sitting around, you don't want to be bored, there's something that you can read.
And that is the second greatest book of all time, which is available at highspots.com. If you want to know more about what me and George are doing on the weekend, make sure you follow me on Twitter, at ManScoutManning, on Instagram, at ManScoutManning. This has been another edition of Dad You Don't Work, You Wrestle.
Good show, boy. Yes. See, we're going to promote the show. If we propel, me and you going together. We're going to propel the show.
We're going to get we'll get the 25-foot banner. I'll just write it off with my taxes. I'll just write it off my taxes.
Listen, we'll just get a Coca-Cola banner like Outlaws do and right on the back of it.
Yeah.
Why didn't they do that, boy?